All right. All right, guys, welcome to the Warrior Training Leadership Skills. And in here, we are a bunch of people that are here gathered to be better leaders, better people at home, with our families, in the community, and also in our jobs or with our teams, whether you're in network marketing, sales, whatever it is. You just want to be a better leader. And so we are bringing on guest speakers that are amazing. And tonight we have one of the most amazing women I know. All right. Now, let me give you a little background about this woman. All right. She has had a successful career spanning more than 2 decades. She doesn't look like she's lived 2 decades, but she's spanned more than 2 decades in the entertainment industry, from actress to stunt woman, co-starring with huge names, and has been starred in over 40 films and televisions, and more coming. Ooh, ooh. All right. Back in 2003, she got really passionate and inspired, and launched herself into personal development, and did a lot with T. Harv Eker. And she became the first female lead trainer for Peak Potentials. She has led T. Harv Eker's signature courses in over 10 countries. She is actually the lead trainer at Enlightened Warrior Training Camp, and she was my trainer. Not only trained me, beat me around a little bit, but educated me enough that I wanted to go back and help other people. And so I'm one of the trainers at Enlightened Warrior Training Camp. And she's worked with hundreds and tens of hundreds of thousands of people around the world, literally rubbed elbows with people like Will Smith, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, and the names go on and on. Plus, she's been with motivational speakers and trainers and coaches like T. Harv Eker, Blair Singer, Keith Cunningham. Now, he's the rich dad on Rich Dad and Poor Dad. All right. And none other than Les Brown. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to let Marjean Holden, boom, warrior goddess, share her nuggets of information with you guys tonight. Are you good there? All right. You get to unmute yourself.
I guess I'm can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Yes. Awesome. Sometimes my headset doesn't work. So thank you, Kent, so much. And welcome everybody to this Warrior in Training training. Thank you all for being here, for taking time out tonight. And Kent, that was such an amazing introduction. I hope that I can give you all some amazing wisdom and nuggets to take with you tonight, which I know that I will, because when I first learned about what I'm going to be talking to you about tonight, it freed me up from so much guilt, so much pressure, so much having to be everything, do everything, be good at everything in the world, that it just really, it lifted a weight off of my shoulders when I got this information. And the information comes from one of my mentors, Monique McDonald, who is an absolutely amazing, amazing woman who has created this system called Discovering Your Sacred Gifts. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, so that we can help you discover your sacred gifts. There is a worksheet that we are going to be using. So this is the worksheet. You can either download it, print it. It's in the chat window there. Kent has it in the chat window. Or if you just have a piece of paper, I'll describe everything that we're going to be doing throughout the next hour and 10, 15 minutes, okay? So I just want to let you guys know that either we'll move through this very, very quickly, and then if you have questions at the end, I'll answer some questions, and then I'll give you some more information about how you can get more on the sacred gifts. But
oh, no, I told them you were going to go about 3 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, then no problem.
Yeah.
Whew, I don't have to rush. I don't have to rush. So, but again, I do want to thank you for having me here, Kent. And I love, 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 absolutely love talking about sacred gifts, because it is something that brings so much freedom, because we're given so much information and all these tools of like, hey, go do this. Hey, go do this. If you just go do this, just go do this. Sometimes just going to do this, that, and the other thing isn't in alignment with your actual gifts. So you'll get tired, you'll get bogged down, you'll, have resistance to this thing that you have been told, oh, you should go do this thing. So when you discover your sacred gifts, you're given this whole key to this other world where you go, oh, I don't have to actually go do those things because they're not in alignment with my gifts. And it frees up your energy to be able to put your energy where you can, where your focus is in learning the gifts and learning where to channel that energy, as opposed to just running around wasting your energy, because nobody likes to waste any energy, right? I mean, seriously, like there's enough going on in the world these days that wasting energy is really not fun, So I've come to that point where, you know what, if it's not in alignment, then I'm not going to do it, because when you're in your gifts, you're actually energized. So I'm just going to jump in and go through all of my presentation for you. And then, like I said, at the end, I'll give you a little bit more information of how you can get even deeper into the sacred gifts. So, like Kent said, I've been a trainer for 12 years with T. Harv Eker, and traveled all the way around the world teaching, training people, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. Come to bring myself back to this point in time of just really sharing with people this material and creating some of our own material, some women's stuff, and some other stuff with my company, Three Source Enterprises, and the Women of Power. But this particular subject is really brings so much passion into my life, and because it brought me so much freedom. And one of my pillars is freedom, and I want everyone to experience freedom. So tonight, hopefully, we'll give you a little bit more on how you can be free. Because how many of you would agree that trying to actually find your purpose can be exhausting? Yes? Like, it can be exhausting, right? Totally. So tonight, in the next hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to have you take a look at the process of finding your purpose from a slightly different perspective, okay? And it's going to be maybe a perspective that you might not have looked at before. And hopefully tonight you're going to leave with a better understanding of the difference between finding your purpose and feeling on purpose, okay? Because there is a distinction between actually finding your purpose and feeling on purpose. And you're going to know what it's going to take after tonight to spend your days feeling on purpose. Would that be good for everybody? Yeah? Yeah, cool. Thank you. So can you feel the difference between the energy of the two statements? Trying to find your purpose or find a purpose, as opposed to spending each day, or at least most days, feeling on purpose. See, for most people, trying to find their purpose equals frustration. And I'm going to show you why. Okay? There's a quote by Aristotle that says, where your gifts and a need in the world cross, therein lies your vocation. Okay, so I'll say it another way. Where your gifts and a need in the world cross, therein lies your sense of purpose. Okay, so we're going to create this into a simple math equation. So you can write this down. Your gifts plus a need equals a sense of purpose. Okay, so your gifts plus a need equals a sense of purpose. So if you just take that in for a moment and let that sink in, your gifts plus a need equals a sense of purpose. So purpose is the answer in this equation, right? So purpose is the answer. So in order to get the answer in this equation, you need two pieces of information. You need to know your gifts, and you need to identify a need. Not necessarily your need, but a need, okay? Because how many of you already know your sacred gifts? Already know what your sacred gifts are? Raise your hand. Hi. No. No. Some of you actually might have a clue as to what they are, but just don't know that that's actually what it is. You may experience it, and through tonight, I'll give you some clues as to what those are, and then you'll go, oh, okay, I understand now. I get it. I get it. Okay. So anyone, I just want to know if anyone here has taken the actual Sacred Gifts course. No. Okay. Cool. So because there is an actual course. All right. So how many of you would still be trying to figure out what your gifts are? And just by me saying, oh, you have gifts, how many of you would go, I'm not sure what my gifts are, but I'm really open to finding out? Anyone open to finding out? Awesome. Great. So for those of you who don't know your gifts, which many of you may not, I'm going to give you some valuable information to solving the equation. And we're going to come back to the gift part in the equation shortly, but we're going to take a look at the second term of the equation, which is the need. Okay. So what do we mean by a need? Anyone have any idea what that might mean? You can actually, okay, so I heard Kent, I heard you say something about not writing comments in the chat window earlier. Is that true?
No, that's in the Facebook group. We have
in the Facebook group.
Facebook
Okay.
Messenger,
Awesome.
But here in the Zoom, this is where if they want to ask you questions and you want to read over some, hey, this is their time because I know you and I've got to talk with you. They don't know you, and this is an opportunity for them to really learn and grow.
Okay, cool. I just didn't want to be overstepping any boundaries and saying like, okay, now I want you all to write comments in there, and everyone's like, wait, but I can't because that's against the rules, So, all right. So
anybody knows the rules and how to follow them, it's you.
Gotcha. Yes. Awesome. All right. So I want you to write down what your answer to that question is. Like what is the meaning of a need? What do we mean by a need? Okay. So you can type it in the chat window, and then I want to read some of these comments, okay, about a need. Not sure. I'm open. Okay. Coaching, a need. Okay, great. How do we deal with people who call us narcissistic? Send them to me. I'll deal with them. Just send them to warrior camp. I'm not sure either. Okay. To lead. Perfect. That's a great one. Any other needs that you can think of out there? Something others want? Yep. Great. Thank you. Anything else? Please. To be loved. Okay. That's a need. Definitely. Anyone else got anything else? Okay. So to be loved, to feel worthy. I love those. I love those.
Don't be shy, guys. Do not be shy.
Help. Okay. Help. Perfect. Yeah. So you can just keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm going to keep going. So a need is something that is missing or that hasn't been done or that needs to get done. Okay. Something that no one is doing or that the person doing it needs help, or there's a void. A void may exist, that there is a benefit to actually doing it. Okay. Perhaps it could be at your workplace. Maybe it's a need in your community, maybe at your kid's school. It might be at your church, or it could be at an organization you belong to. Maybe it's a need in the world at large. There's a lot of things that are in need in the world at large, right? So maybe it's a story that hasn't been told, or maybe it's a job posting that needs to be filled. It could be something on the news that kind of tugs at your heart, or there's a corner somewhere that needs some beauty added to it. It could be that there needs to be a bed and breakfast in your neighborhood, or there needs to be a study on the mating habits of Alaskan crabs, or a book that's in you that needs to come out. Okay. What's important is that the need, this particular need, is meaningful to you. So if you're, you discover that something needs to have beauty added to it, that need needs to be meaningful to you. Okay. You can say, oh, I really like to enhance things by making them beautiful, and that feels good to me. So that need of having something be beautiful, it means something to you. And that's really important in this equation, okay? So I want you to remember that this need, whatever it is in the world or whatever it is in this, it may be in a smaller section of the world, it needs to be meaningful to you, okay? So remember that. So what's important is the need is meaningful to you. And it has to be meaningful to you because even if you're using one of your gifts that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, even if you're using one of your gifts to meet that need, you won't feel on purpose if it's not meaningful to you, okay? It may be meaningful to someone else, but if it's not meaningful to you, even if you're in your gifts, you might not feel like you're on purpose because it's like, oh, yeah, it's meaningful, but it's not really meaningful to me, okay? So you have to make sure that it's meaningful to you, that need is meaningful to you, okay, in order for you to feel on purpose, okay? Some of you may have had this experience or are currently experiencing this yourselves. You may be doing something that needs to get done and you're really good at it. However, it just doesn't excite you. Can anyone relate to that? I think we've all been there. Yeah, that thing, it does not excite me at all, right? We've been there. So by writing in the comments, I want you to write down how many of you believe that without a huge amount of effort or needing to have to attend a workshop or read any books or anything like that on the topic, you could probably identify a need that's meaningful to you. You could probably identify a need that's meaningful to you. I mean, and you wouldn't have to go to a seminar, you wouldn't have to read about it. You could probably think, you know what's really meaningful to me? Oh, this is meaningful to me, right? Whether you get paid or not to meet the need doesn't make any difference, okay? Not right now. In other words, you could be doing something that makes you feel on purpose, but it doesn't mean that it needs to be volunteered. It may or may not be volunteered. You may be getting paid for it, but it may be something that's meaningful to you, okay, that you're not actually getting paid for. Yeah, Michelle says helping others. That's meaningful to you. And that's a big clue. When you start discovering or writing down or paying attention to those things that are meaningful to you, that's a big clue in the process of discovering your sacred gifts. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody? Great, awesome. Cheering people on or lifting them up. Yes, that's a perfect need. Who said that? That was from Margaret. Yeah, that's perfect. You know, Margaret, that's my actual real name is Margaret. So, yeah. So who, yeah, awesome. Who can name a need that they know about and that holds meaning for you, other than what we've already said? Anyone else? You know, it could be something that you see needs to get done, or that you may not be the one that needs to do it, but your part may be to bring awareness to it. Okay, so you may see, oh, this needs to get done. It's not meaningful to me, but I know it needs to get done. So I might be able to connect somebody else with this thing, this need that needs to get done, that'll be totally lit up by the idea of it, right? It may not necessarily be that you're the one fulfilling the need, but you see a need there and you go, oh, there's a need that needs to be met. It's not meaningful to me, but it's going to be meaningful to someone else, okay? Because you may be able to shine a light on it or draw attention to it or raise funds for it, but not necessarily be the one to actually fulfill that particular need, okay? So we all have pieces of the puzzle to help everybody else, because we really are here to support each other and to help each other. I mean, we don't do anything, you know, we can't accomplish success on our own. Even when people say, oh, I did that on my own, we don't really ever do anything on our own, right? No. So there's always other people involved in the equation. So that's the need part of the equation. So we don't have the purpose yet, but we have the need. Doesn't it make sense that if we now identify what your gifts are, we'll be closer to solving the equation? Yeah? Cool. So the next step is in discovering what your gifts are. And how many of you have ever heard the expression that everyone has a gift? Everyone has a gift. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, we have several gifts. We all have several gifts. Okay. So I want you to write down, first of all, I want you to write down, we all have a gift. And then you're going to write down, in fact, I don't have just one. Because the truth is, you have several gifts. So we all have a gift. And in fact, I have several gifts, or I don't have just one. Okay. So the next portion of this is we're going to focus on those gifts. And we're going to start with what sacred gifts actually are and the definition of a sacred gift. Okay, so this is where your worksheet is going to come into action. So if you don't have the worksheet, you'll just write these down. Okay, you're just going to write things down as I describe them to you. Okay, so the definition of a sacred gift is an ability given to us in birth that allows us to do certain things in extraordinary ways and that only manifest when focused outwardly. And sacred meaning worthy of respect. So I'll repeat that, okay? So the definition of a sacred gift is an ability given to us in birth that allows us to do certain things in extraordinary ways and that only manifest when focused outwardly. Sacred meaning worthy of respect. So next to your letter S on your worksheet, you're going to write down worthy of respect. And so you can see that there are blank spots next to each and every every letter. Then it spells out sacred gifts. We're going to fill those all in as we go along. So the first one is worthy of respect. See, they're given to us in birth, which means that they're already in us. And that's the good news. They allow us to do certain things in extraordinary ways. And they only manifest when they're focused outwardly, meaning that they're to be focused towards someone or something else, perhaps towards a need. Okay? Next. Though these gifts are in us, they are meant for the benefit of others. That's why they call it a gift. You know, it's like, that's why they call it a gift, right? And they're called gifts, meaning that they're focused outward towards someone or something else. And if gifts are always for the benefit of others, then that would mean that you could be really gifted at something when it comes to doing it for someone else, but it may not be evident when you try and use it on yourself. This is the tricky part. Because we go, oh, I'm so great at helping other people with this thing. Why can't I do this for myself? And it's because gifts are to be focused outward for everybody else. That's the benefit of them for someone else, okay? You could be really good at doing something for others, and that same area of your life can be totally screwed up. I mean, it happens, and you can see it all over the place. You know, as an example, I have a girlfriend who has one of the sacred gifts of organization. She's got an organization gift, but her own life, like, forget it. Like she's like, oh my God, I just can't get organized. And it's like, well, yeah, because your gifts are for the benefit of others. You know, you need to call somebody else in who has that gift of organization to organize yourself. You know, so that's the little caveat with these gifts, is that you can be brilliant at doing this for other people, and that same area for you is a little bit, it's off or it's screwed up or whatever. Okay, so don't trip out on, well, I have this gift, why is it not working on me? It's because they're focused outwards. Okay, they're focused outwards. So next to the letter A, you're going to write down always for the benefit of others. Just write that in big, bold letters. Always for the benefit of others. And maybe what I'll do is I'll type it. I could type it in the chat window over here. A equals always. Yeah, I missed the S. Maybe someone else can pick up the S. Okay, great. So moving on. Here we go. One of the reasons why most people don't recognize the gifts that they have in them or the ones that other people have is because they're often hidden behind a personality that may not provide any clues, okay? Or a personality that is in complete contrast to that gift. As an example, you could have someone who has a really scatterbrain or is this ditzy kind of personality, right? But they're very organized at work, like supremely organized at work. But their outward personality is that they're just kind of like oh, just kind of ditzy and kind of bubbly, right? But at work, they're completely on and they're totally organized, okay? How many of you feel that when people meet you, they sometimes might not initially get to meet who you really are inside? Because they see this personality on the outside, right? And they may not get to know or see the real you, okay? So you're going to write down next to the letter C that they can be in contrast to your personality. They can be in contrast to your personality. Another really great example of the contrast to your personality is if you watch America's Got Talent or any of the UK's Got Talents, and Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell has got that personality where you're like, oh, that guy is like he's such a jerk. Oh my God. But his gift, when his gift actually comes out in the competition, you see a completely different side of him. So his outward personality is in complete contrast with his gifts, okay? Now, your gifts are in you for a reason. They equip you with tools that allow you to meet a need. And when they're used, they will make you feel on purpose. They'll make you feel on purpose. So next to the letter R, you're going to write down, the reason is for you to feel on purpose when you use them. The reason is for you to feel on purpose when you use them. See, when you're using one of your gifts, it's energizing to you. You're going to feel great in the moment when you're doing it, and time just flies by. Has anyone ever had one of those moments where you're like, I could just do this thing forever. Just do it forever. Forever and ever. And that's usually because you're in your gift, and your gift gives you energy. They'll give you energy, and it just keeps generating and generating. And it's like, and when you're finished, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that thing for 14 hours, right? I just did that thing for 2 days. And I still have energy. And it's because when you're in your gifts, you're energized. Okay, so next to the letter E, you're going to write energizing. They are energizing. And, sometimes gifts are dormant in most people. They're asleep inside of you waiting for something or someone to wake them up. And they go dormant if you don't use them. It's just like your muscles. If you don't use your muscles, they atrophy, they get weak. And then you start using your muscles again and they're kind of sore and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize I had those muscles. But your gifts will go dormant if you don't use them. So you're going to write down next to the letter D, dormant if I don't use them. And I think I'm just going to change everything that says you to the letter I, because it's just more personal. It's like when you're writing something down, you're not talking about you, you're talking about yourself personally. So I, we're going to put everything in the first person. They're dormant if I don't use them. Next, they can be grown so that they may, look initially not all that impressive. However, the more you give them, the more they grow until they can actually seem like they're supernatural or extraordinary. It's just like when the baby, S meaning sacred, worthy of respect. Yeah, S is meaning worthy of respect. So they can be grown. Because it's just like when we're kids, right? If you look at a little baby, they don't just, well, I mean, some kids just start running before they walk, but they learn through a process, and they start to grow. You're welcome, Erin. You're welcome. They start to grow, and then as they grow, they get stronger, and they can do more, and they right, they progress. We progress, and then we become, you know, a toddler, and then we become a teenager, and and then we become an adult, and then we spend our whole lives trying to get back to being a kid again, and that joy and that fun and all of that good energy. So they grow. Okay, they grow, and you're going to write next to the letter G, grow them. Grow them. And then the more you use them, the more they grow. So the more you use them, the more they grow. You just keep watering them, and they keep growing. See, and other people, they'll often be impressed by your gifts, and they will tell you so. For you, it's going to seem like it's no big deal. It's like, oh gosh, everybody can do that. Or like, God, that's so easy. And that's how it is when you're in your gift. It's easy for you, but if someone does not share the same gift as you, it's going to be a challenge for them. So they will oftentimes seem very impressive to other people. So next to the letter I, you're going to write impressive to others. They're impressive to others. You know, and I teach this, and I've been a sacred gifts guide for, oh gosh, I can't even, I think like 6 or 7 years now, and have just recently in the last year become Monique's first trainer to actually train the live 2-day course besides herself. And I have to remind myself that not everybody has these gifts. You know, not everybody has the same set of gifts I have. And they go, oh, it just seems so easy for you. And it's like, yeah, but everybody can do it. And then I have to catch myself and go, wait, but whoa. That might not be in their set of gifts. So your gifts are going to seem completely natural and super easy to you. And then somebody else's gifts are going to seem totally supernatural to you. And vice versa. So it's part of the process of reminding ourselves that, oh, my gifts are my gifts. That's my blueprint. And their gifts are their gifts. And that's their blueprint. So when you're looking at, the world, now you can go, oh, that set of gifts is great. And I need that gift to come into my life or into my business because I don't have that gift. So I need to attract somebody with that gift to come into my world, into my realm, that wants to be there for my growth, or so that we can work together. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's one of those things that I love the system because of that. I just love it because you can create a team that everybody's in their gifts, and everybody, is happy, and everybody's energized. And just imagine, you've got your whole team, everybody's in their gifts and doing their thing. Unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. Okay. So that's the letter I, impressive to others. Now your gifts are with you forever, whether they are in use or whether they're asleep dormant. Okay. They're with you from birth to death, and they're always going to be with you. So next to the letter F, you're going to write down forever with me. Forever with me. They're not going away. And either you're going to use them or you're not. And that's just the way it is. Okay? But you can't get rid of them. It's your gift. They're always with you. They're forever with you. Next one is that the sacred gifts transcend or go above and beyond human abilities, because it's part of your beingness. It's not part of your humanness. It's part of your beingness. They allow you to do things that you or someone else would not be able to do if that gift wasn't present. So next to the letter T, you're going to write down transcend human abilities. Transcend human abilities. transcending the human abilities, because it's part of your beingness. It's part of your core. Thank you, Kimberly. Can pretty much guess which gift is in play here. I love it. You can always tell when a gift shows up. You can always tell when a gift shows up. So remember I said before, you have more than one sacred gift, okay? So most people have several. There's usually 4 or 5 that are available to you throughout your life. There are 24 very specific sacred gifts, which we talk about in the Sacred Gifts program. And I'll tell you about a few of them in a minute, but everybody has the evidence of 4 or 5 gifts. Sometimes there's 6, sometimes there's 7. In rare cases, there may be more. We do know some that have demonstrated 19 out of the 24 sacred gifts, 20 out of the 24 very extreme cases, extraordinary cases. And, you know, sometimes that could be a bit of a challenge, right? So imagine you got 20 out of 24 gifts. Where do you focus, right? But normally everyone will have between 4 or 5 that are available to you, sometimes 6 or 7, okay? I've been seeing more and more as we evolve and as our consciousness raises, there more and more people whose assessments I do, I'm finding that there's anywhere between 4 and 7. You know, that there's 4 and 7 gifts that are starting to pop up, and people are, and they're actively using them, and they're in them. So there's evidence that I'm seeing just in the short period of time that I've been working with the system, that the consciousness of the planet, just even in energetic realms, is people are expanding. So those more gifts are actually showing up for people. Okay. So next to the letter S, you're going to write, several gifts are in me. Several gifts are in me. And I love it. Several gifts are in me. So I want everybody to say, wow, I had no idea. I had no idea. Right? It's crazy. I know. It's all right. It's okay. You can be crazy and talk to your screen. I mean, we're actually talking to each other. So you can say, wow, I had no idea. That is totally crazy. But there are 4 signs. How many signs are there? Hold up your fingers. How many signs are there? Thank you. There's 4 signs that can help you determine if you're using a gift, okay? And they're on your worksheet. So it's the second part of the worksheet right here. We're going to fill in. There we go. Look, I can't do this like looking at it's like the camera is pointing my finger one way and it's like moving the other way. But right here in the middle, right there. We're going to write these down. The 4 signs, okay, as a way to determine if you're using your gift. Gifts. The first one is that you're going to listen for feedback. Is listening to feedback. What do people say to you? Do they say things like, that's amazing. I couldn't do that. How did you do that? Or I wish I could do that. And you can probably think, even in your head, back to some situations that you've been in where people are like saying those exact things to you, okay? Of how did you do that? That's so amazing. I couldn't do that. I wish I could do that, okay? Next, you're going to look for repeated patterns over your life of things that you've really enjoyed doing, okay? Excuse me. Look for repeated patterns over your life. Is there some certain things that just keep happening over and over and over again? Next, like I said before, they're energizing. That's one of the biggest clues, is they're energizing, they're exciting, they're effortless. So you're going to pay attention to how you feel when you're engaged in an activity. You could be really good at doing something, like I said before, but that doesn't mean you like doing it. You might be using a skill or a talent, which isn't the same thing as using a gift. Okay. So you can be very skilled at something, very talented at something, but if you're not feeling energized, if you're not feeling excited about it, if it's not effortless to you, then it might not be a sacred gift. It may be a skill or a talent that you use. And the last one is that you're going to look for extraordinary results. Look for extraordinary results, meaning beyond normal results. Because oftentimes when you're in your gifts and you're engaged in your gifts with other people, you'll have these amazing results. And it'll be like, wow, that's pretty incredible. And people will go, I can't believe it. It's like a miracle. And that's evidence that you are actually in a gift. Okay? So looking for some of the clues above is one of the ways of helping you identify your gifts. And we have another way that we use in the program that very few gift finding programs use, and that's by having you complete an inventory. Okay? So you're going to look at the bottom of your sheet and you're going to see where it says the key. Okay? In the step 3 of the process, there's a key. And in the key, it says rarely, which equals 0, sometimes, which equals 1, and often equals 2, almost always equals 3, okay? So this part right here in the key, right there, it says the key. So I'm gonna read you some questions, and you're gonna put your appropriate response next to the question number. And I'm gonna alternate between 2 gifts so that you can see how this process works, okay? So I'll say number 1, first gift, and number 1, second gift, then number 2, first gift, and then number 2, second gift. And we'll go down the track like that because there are 5 questions that I'll ask you, okay? So for the first gift, okay, that's on the left-hand side of the sheet, first gift, I'm gonna ask you this question and then you're going to write down either rarely, 0, you're gonna put a numerical value to it. You're gonna write either a 0, a 1, a 2, or a 3, okay? 3 being almost always this thing happens, okay? So the first gift, question number 1, is I remain present when someone is talking to me about personal matters. Does this happen to you rarely? Does it happen to you sometimes? Does it happen to you often? Or does it almost always happen? Okay? First gift number 1, I remain present when someone is talking to me about personal matters. Second gift number 1, quite effortlessly, I can bring order to disorganized or chaotic situations. So you're either going to have a 0, a 1, a 2, or a 3, because it's either going to be rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always. So quite effortlessly, I can bring order to disorganized or chaotic situations. Next, first gift question number 2. People readily confide and share their innermost thoughts and feelings with me. People readily confide and share their innermost thoughts or feelings with me. Rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always. So a 0, 1, 2, or a 3. Second gift, number 2, question number 2. I love that. Kimberly's like, rarely. I love it. Okay, so second gift number 2. I enjoy taking on a complex project or idea and breaking it down into parts to see what needs to be done. I enjoy taking on a complex project or idea and breaking it down into parts to see what needs to be done. Yeah, you can write the numbers. Yep, you can write the numbers because we're going to add up scores. So you want the numbers in there. So it's either going to be 0, a 1, or 2, or a 3. Okay, so that's the second gift, question number 2. Moving on to the first gift, question number 3. I have successfully encouraged others towards their potential. I have successfully encouraged others towards their potential. Rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always. 0, 1, 2, or 3. Second gift number 3. I'm effective at delegating. I'm effective at delegating. Is it a 0, rarely, sometimes 1, often 2, almost always 3? Number 4, question number 4. So first gift, question number 4. I have effectively coached others to success. I have effectively coached others to success. 0, rarely, sometimes 1, often 2, almost always 3. Second gift number 4. I have been effective in formal or informal negotiations or mediations. So I have been effective in formal or informal negotiations or mediations. Rarely, sometimes, often, almost always. And question number 5, first gift number 5. People have told me that they just feel better after talking to me. They just feel better after talking to me. Oh, was that a yes, Kent? Was that almost always? 3? Score! Second gift, question number 5. I have created systems and structures for the purpose of efficiency. I have created systems and structures for the purpose of efficiency. So now you're going to add up the totals for each gift, going from top to bottom. So you'll have a score on the first gift. So you're going to add up all your 0s, 1s, 2s, 3s, whatever it may be for those 5 questions. Write in what it is on that first gift, and then write in what that number is on the second gift. You can only have a total of 15 for each gift. So if you have more than 15, something went awry. And we need to go back and figure that out. Because 3 is the highest numerical value we can give. So we have multiple groups of gifts, and there are different gifts based on just a number of different factors. There are nurturing gifts. There are what are called lifestyle gifts. There are restorative gifts. There are organizational gifts. There are gifts of understanding. And then there's creative gifts. So gift number 1 is one of the nurturing gifts, and it is the gift of encouragement. So you're going to write that down. Number 1, the gift name is encouragement. And I'm just going to skim through these 2 gifts so that you have an idea of what they are. So the gift of encouragement is that you have this unexplainable ability through your presence alone, which allows people to just fully be themselves and tell you things that perhaps they would never tell anyone else. They may say things like, wow, I can't believe I told you that. Or I've never told anyone that before. Or I feel so much better talking to you. I feel so much better talking to you. Even strangers, they might just start telling you their stuff. And you haven't even said anything to them. And they just come up and they just start talking. And they just start unloading. Okay? This gift is the most one-on-one gift of them all. And this isn't the gift of giving advice. There's another gift that focuses on giving advice. This is simply a gift where people find comfort and encouragement just being with you without you necessarily saying anything at all. Okay, they feel safe telling you things. It's like you got this big stamp on your forehead that says, tell me everything. You're safe with me. And it can be quite frustrating at times, I will tell you that. Because when you're trying to have your alone time and someone comes up and sits down, and you don't know them, they don't know you, you're just sitting there minding your own business, having your own little quiet think, and they just start, "Blah," and they just dive right in, and they just open up, and they just tell you stuff, okay? They just feel safe telling you. Just your presence may be all that's needed by that person. That's it. It also has this, you have this supernatural ability to see the potential in other people and a desire to see them actually reach it, okay? This can be done, it can be one of the more difficult gifts to discern, because a lot of people are trained at being effective listeners, or they're trained in counseling techniques, but this is a natural coaching gift. And you'll know that if it's your gift by just like, people just come up and they just start telling you stuff. So by a show of, in the chat window, who had a 0 to 5? 0 to 5. Anyone have a 0 to 5 on this gift? You can just put a yes in the chat window. 0 to 5. If you had a 5 to 10, okay? So if you had a 0 to 5, it's not likely that this is a gift unless it's dormant, okay? So if you had a 0 to 5, it's not likely a gift unless it's dormant. So great, thank you, Larry. Private message, awesome. Between a 5 and a 10, if you had between a 5 and a 10, it's likely that you're gonna need a little bit more investigating, okay? And experimenting with it. Just experimenting with it. And this is a process called discovering your sacred gifts. So when you're in the process of discovery, there's investigation and experimentation that has to happen in order to actually discern and determine whether or not it's a gift. So for those of you who are in the 5 to 10 range, you're going to investigate more, and you're going to start listening and feeling into, if somebody comes up and starts paying it, you know, like telling you things, like seeing how you're feeling, like, how am I feeling about this? You know, what's going on here? And if you're between a 10 and a 15, this is definitely possibly a gift for you. Okay. Yeah. Lisa says, I love listening to their story. It comes easy for me, and I love you. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. You know, this is one of the gifts that, actually one of the gifts that I have. It's one of the strongest gifts that I have. And I forget sometimes that this is a gift. And I'm like, just like, why are you telling me this? Like, why are you telling me all this stuff? I don't need to know this stuff. And then I go, oh yeah, you don't have to do anything with the information. It's just giving them the ability to actually let go of something that may be weighing them down. Okay. So just know that if that's you, this is you, that this is one of those gifts. It's a one-on-one gift. So people will come to you one-on-one for this gift. Okay. So the second gift, it's an organizational gift. It is an organizational gift, and it is the gift of administration and planning. Administration and planning. And thank God for you people. Thank God if you have the gift of administration and planning, because you bring order to chaos. You people are all about the structure, and there would be no system would exist without this gift being present. Like it just wouldn't happen. Like the universe would stop turning if we didn't have those of you with the gift of administration and planning. Because you just find joy in the planning and the organizing and the coordination of things. And even though leadership is another organizational gift, it's not this gift. This is not the same as the organizational gift called leadership. See, the visionary leader spots the need, and the person with this gift, the administration gift, says, okay, let's get going. Let's get it done. They will just pick up that ball and they will run with it. And you have this supernatural ability to create, organize, and sustain all of the aspects of getting a project done. Like if I didn't have members of my team with this gift, nothing would get done. Because I am the visionary leader and I have that gift, but I do not have the gift of administration and planning. Like zero, like at all. period. I can organize because I've had to teach myself to do that, but it's definitely not a gift for me, not a gift. So you know, and like on top of it, your projects, they usually get completed in record time. Yes, Norina, yeah, I can, but rather not. So that's definitely like, it's not your gift. Yeah, Erin says this, yeah, definitely not my gift either. Yeah, got it. So you know, like, you know for sure. Yep, not my gift. Not happening. See, and it's like see, if you have this gift, you love implementing. You love implementing things. And that's the key. That is the key. And implement is a key word for this gift. It's like you're a project manager and an administrative planner, and you develop the process of how it's going to get done. You solve the problems through efficient planning. You're excellent at delegating and influencing others to step in. You're also excellent in negotiation and mediation. So there you go. So Keith, yeah, he's a visionary. Erin says, yes, you are. See, with the gift of administration and planning, large projects can get done with low stress because of the joy that the person has in doing it. See, lots of people may learn to be organized, but those who have the gift bring with it a real joy, just a real joy. And when you're in your gifts, this gift, though it may be hard work, you do it with a lightheartedness, you know, and people usually enjoy working with you because there's just less agitation and frustration. There's less irritation working with you because you bring such joy to it. So they really, really love working with you. You have an eye, a meticulous eye for detail. You're the most amazing jugglers. Like, you can juggle several projects on the go. You'll never drop a ball, and you get things moving in the right direction. You know, you get things moving. If something is off track, you're going to get it back on track and moving in the right direction in lightning speed. Okay. And at the heart of it, you know, you just have a love of people, and you want your work to make things better for others. So it's important for you that there's a social impact that your projects have. And if the need isn't meaningful to you, then you won't feel on purpose. There's really, with you people, it's like there's less confusion when you're around, and things just seem to unfold smoothly without a lot of wasted effort. So we say thank God for those of you who have this gift, because you make the world turn around. You know, you really do. You make the world move. So if there's anyone that had a 0 to 5 on this one, I mean, a lot of you have already said, you know, nope, definitely not my gift, you know, so 0 to 5, probably don't have this gift. 5 to 7, you're going to have to do a little bit of investigating to see maybe if it's dormant. It might be there. Oh, I don't know. You need to be put into a situation where this gift would possibly come out. Larry says 0. That's a pretty easy one. 0 is pretty easy. 10 to 15, definitely, most likely a gift. And I would encourage you to nurture it and find situations that you can be in to allow that gift that's meaningful to you, that will allow that gift to flourish and really, really, you know, thrive out there in the world. You know, because we need you. We need you, organizers. Erin says, I'm thankful for teams with different gifts, especially when God assembles them. Yeah. And there's a whole line of gifts that goes in alignment with what you're saying there. So it's possible that some of you may have both of those gifts that we just talked about. Some of you may have neither of those, but you have some of the gifts that, you know, that you have gifts that are in the entire program. So in the program, we do this whole assessment with you for all 24 gifts to identify the ones that you likely have. But more importantly, I always say more importantly, because identifying the gifts that you don't likely have is even more important than finding the gifts that you do have. Because if you've been operating your life utilizing, you know, your skills or your talents, knowing the gifts that you don't have is just going to, like, oh, this just frees up that whole energy. And you just, oh my gosh. When I found out the gifts that I didn't have, I was so relieved. I was like, whew, thank God I don't have that gift, I don't have to worry about it anymore, because I thought I was a bad person because there are certain gifts that I didn't have that I thought, oh, I should be good at that thing. I should be good at that. And I just didn't have it, you know? As an example, music is one of the sacred gifts. My entire family, like my entire family, has the sacred gift of music. I have zero. Zero. I wanted it to be so, but it was not. You know? And I was like, oh well. Not that I don't love music, because I love music. I love listening to music. I love singing music, but I do not have the gift of music at all. So my brother has it, my sister has it, my mom has it, my dad had it, my cousins have it. I've got, you know, aunts, uncles, everybody's got it except me. And then I went, okay, I'll just be an actor, whatever. No big deal. I don't have to sing, right? So that's really important, to find out the ones that you don't have so that you can grow and expand the ones that you actually do have. And they're not crowded out by the things that would suck the life out of you. Okay. So now you can see why most people may not be feeling on purpose or don't know what their purpose is, right? Because they're not in alignment with their gifts. They don't know all their gifts. They don't have all of the information, because most people have no idea what their gifts are and what they aren't. And this is the place that we start. You know, it's a piece of your foundation for everything, that once you have it, you can build on it, and you can just keep building on it. And everything that you do makes more sense when you know your gifts. And going through life, you know, because going through life not knowing your gifts is like trying to build a house. It's like you have no idea what tools you have in your toolbox, or you don't know the names of the tools, but you have no idea how to use the tools. And it can be really, really frustrating. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the program of discovering your sacred gifts. And then we'll just give you the opportunity, if you want to go further and take that on. Kevin is great with drums. Yeah, Kevin is great with drums. He has a gift of music. Oh, there you go. That's my brother. He's got the gift of music. So that you can go on, and we've got, Kent will have more information on how you can get more information. Yeah, Norena says you can feel lost searching for the unknown. Totally. Just feel completely lost, feel not on purpose, feel like, what am I doing here? Why am I even here? You know, and it just gives you that freedom to be able to go, oh, okay, I got this now. And then finding more about the Feel on Purpose formula and how to actually put it all together. So it's impossible for me to do this in an hour and a half. I can just give you, as much information in this time and let you know that there's more out there for you. Okay. So how many of you felt, like this makes a lot of sense, or this is really exciting? Like, oh my gosh, this is a piece that is really kind of valuable, would be valuable to me, right? And see, the thing is like we get used to like just sort of being in that complacency in life and sort of that dullness of like, oh yeah, I guess I know there should be more, but I don't know where this more thing is, and I have no idea what it is. So we just end up resigning to like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm going to get, and I'll make the best of it. But there is more, and every day in life, there's expectations on us. And if you're in a job a job where you're not feeling fulfilled, it's like, it's hard to get up every day and go, all right, I'm going to go do this thing again. I really wish I had something more, right? The truth is that most people are just living to get by, and we want to be living in a life that's fulfilling, and it's amazing. And it's like we're living in our gifts, and we're just out there doing what we're passionate about and what we love doing, and being on a team or supporting a team or supporting someone. It's like I teach this all over the world. And, there's certain cultures that are bound in certain ways. And then I share with them about their gifts, and they're like, mind is just blown, because they go, oh, well, how am I going to work this in with the obligation that I have for my family? That's like, oh, well, you might have to do some readjusting, and you might have to look at things a little bit differently. yeah, thanks, Keith. Yeah, really great stuff for sure. And Margaret, thank you so much. Yeah, it's I've never really thought of our gifts like this. Yeah, I always thought our gifts were being alive, breathing, seeing, etc. Yeah, and those are gifts for sure. Absolutely, for sure. But just having this foundation, you know, we're all here on this call because we know that we want to make a contribution out there in the world. We know that there are tools that are available. We know that we feel there's something more, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be spending your quality time looking to get information to be more of who you actually are out there in the world, right? And it's funny with these gifts. You're so welcome, Wendy. It's my absolute joy doing this. It is my joy to do this and to bring freedom to people's lives. It means so much to me and to my heart. So yeah, just, you know, going through this process really is, you know, it's amazing because when we live our lives, when our gifts aren't activated, you know, we feel bored, we hate our jobs, and then we're not having any fun, and we can procrastinate on things of getting things done, and, you know, and then we keep putting things off that we know we want to do, but we shouldn't do, or we want to do, but oh God, it doesn't feel good. So sometimes we just can't seem to get motivated, right? And it's just like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's your gift that's your gift. When you looked to, what do you mean? What do you mean, Narina? That's your gift. When did you look to sacred gifts? When did I look to sacred gifts? Is that what you're meaning? I just want to make sure I'm getting what you actually mean. Yeah, when I found this, it was in 2000, and it was 11 years ago. 2007 was when I took my first Discovering Your Sacred Gifts course. That was the first time. And I've taken it several times, and then decided I had to teach this process, and I had to take people through this process because my mission is to touch, move, and inspire others to live in their purpose with passion and power. And this is one of the ways in which I get to do that. So it really means a lot. No, that's no worries, Lisa. Yeah, catch the replay for sure. Yeah, really, really great stuff. So there's a worksheet that you can download as well. I think Kent put it in the chat window, so you can download that, and you've got that. Awesome. Good. Because, you know, we all want to feel fulfilled. Yes, like everybody wants to feel fulfilled. So in a way that, you know, when we're not living in our gifts, we can oftentimes not feel fulfilled and not feel happy and really not feel in alignment with the universe. And now more than ever, we're being called to be in alignment with our gifts and be in alignment so that we can shine that light out there in the world. So that we can stop second guessing ourselves and our decisions, so we can stop struggling in business and our relationships. And, you know, a lot of times we can lose sleep over not knowing, just the not knowing. And it makes us tired, can make us angry, and then sends us into this spiral of frustration and make bad decisions, and then just sort of grasping for anything to make us happy or rich or fulfilled. So we all know that feeling of just reaching for anything just to get us to the other side. So when I discovered this, I really, you know, it felt so good to be able to go through the process of training to learn how to take people through this process so that people could stop being stuck, you know, and so that I could help people like get out of that place of, you know, like being in low energy or not being in their gifts. And now when I teach this and I can see it in other people, and I see the gifts in kids, and I can see them already displaying gifts in, you know, when they're very young. And it's really, really great to be able to see that and to know for myself, okay, well, I don't have that gift. So who do I need to attract into my life that can supply that particular gift? Or my business partners and I, all are in our gifts within our business, and we go, okay, what gifts do we need to attract in order to move to this next level or go about it this way? So we're all very conscious and aware of all of our gifts. And then when we're not in our gifts, we go, oh, that's not my gift. I don't want to do that thing. We need to find somebody else to do that thing. Who do we know? And we're able to actually move that, because we like to feel on purpose, and we want to feel on purpose because, your time is everything. Your time is gold. And when we're wasting time, it's like we only have a limited time on the planet, even if it's 50 years, 70 years, 80 years, whatever. It's like, I'm determined and really want to live the rest of my days. I'm 53 now, going on 54. I want to live the rest of my days feeling on purpose and being happy, and teaching others about feeling on purpose and being happy and having your gifts activated. Okay. So you can, really going through this process, your relationships will start to blossom again. It's like you'll have different relationships with coworkers and business partners and colleagues. Then you'll start seeing where their gifts are and be able to start kind of maybe shifting people around and moving people into their right positions, and build your teams effectively so that everybody feels on purpose. And like I said earlier, how amazing would that be to have a whole team that's like everybody's just on purpose and everybody's feeling really good. And when everybody's feeling good, then it's infectious, and people start to wonder and go, well, what are you guys doing that we're not doing? It's like, how are you having so much success? And it's like, well, it's because everybody's happy. Everybody's doing, everybody's in the position that they need to be in, and they're in the right vehicle. So the right tools for you. So we do have a 2-day live Sacred Gifts course. We don't know when it's going to be yet, but if you're just chomping at the bit and you're really like, oh, I have to have this and I have to have it now, you can actually go to Monique McDonald's website. Kent's going to give you a link. You can go get the audio course. The audio course is like $247. You can download it. You can start it right away. You can just go get it. And then if you have any questions, you can either text Kent and say, hey, we want, I told Kent and my partners and I agreed that, anyone, if you buy the course and you take the course, the audio course, we're really happy to extend a huge discount to you if you want to pop into a live course that we're doing. We've got a couple dates that we don't have fully set yet. One's going to be in Florida and the other's going to be in Denver. I'm not sure where the majority of you all are, but I told Kent that we'd be happy to organize something just for the warriors in training to come to a live event, so that if you're interested, if you purchase the downloadable audio series and you go, you know what, I really want to come live and I want to bring somebody else with me, we're going to do a really super huge discount. Normally the course, Monique sells the course for $297. It's like, we're going to give you a discount, like bring yourself, bring a friend for $97 each, and we'll do it somewhere where the majority of you can get to. And so you guys can decide, like, hey, we want you to come to San Diego and we want you to do this, or we want you to come to LA and we want you to do this. And, bring a friend, bring somebody else with you, a business partner or your team, and we'll come do that for you because it's so valuable. We want to get it out there to the world. I have a personal goal of getting the information into the hands of at least 250,000 people within the next 3 years. So it's a huge goal, and we know that we can do it, and we want to go global, and we're working all around the world with some other partners around the world to just bring this to the masses, because we feel that this is one of the foundational pieces that you can just build everything on. Once everybody's in their gifts, and if you see somebody that's not in their gifts, you can say, hey, let's kind of get you in alignment with your gifts and put you where you're going to be happy, so that we know that our team's functioning at its best and you're functioning at your best, and you're recognizing the gifts in your siblings, your parents, your kids. I had done this for a group of people about 4 years ago. And one of my students showed up, and he came to a party that I did, and he goes, "Oh my God, it makes so much sense now." He's like, because he had the gift of service, so he helped clean up and he would do all this stuff. He goes, "It makes so much sense now because at home I'm always the one cleaning up, and my mom doesn't help, and my sister doesn't help." And he goes, "Now I get it. They don't have the gift of service, but I do." He goes, "Now I recognize why they don't do anything." When it comes to cleaning up, he goes, "Because it's not their gift." He goes, "But I really love it." He goes, "But I was getting a little angry before, but now I know it's not their gift, and I see their gifts showing up in other ways." So it freed him up from all this energy with his family to be able to just accept them for the gifts that they had and accept them for the gifts they didn't have, and to just really kind of nurture the gifts that they did have and accept the gifts that they did have. So feel free to go and get the audio course. And like I said, you can, email Kent, text him, let him know, yes, we want to bring this, we want to do this. And then between Kent and I and my other business partners, we'll organize something, and we'll figure out a time, a date, a place where you guys can get to. And, we'll bring maybe some other people in as well, just to make sure it's full. We usually need to have about 40 to 50 people in a room to do it live. It's 2 days, and it's really super easy. Like, we're from 9 to 5 each day, and really gentle, really easy, and interacting with other people in the room is really, really pretty phenomenal. And yeah, Narina, I wish I would have had this when I was younger. Yeah, we all wish. Could you imagine if you would have had this when you were a teenager, to get this then? And you're so welcome, Jennifer. You're so welcome. Even though the gifts may be young in young people, they don't have the life experience that we have when we're older to be able to go, "Oh yeah, I've been doing that my whole life." The gifts will show up in kids. My daughter is 12 now, and last summer we were at my sister's house, and she said to me, "Mom, can I organize Auntie's pantry? Because it is just a mess. And can I organize that for her?" And I said, "Well, you have to talk to Auntie, because it's her pantry. So you have to, kind of ask her." And she was like, "Auntie, can I organize your pantry?" And she's like, "Oh, go for it, girl. Yeah, have at it." So she's organizing her, my sister's pantry. And I said to her, "God, Jasmine, it's really amazing that you are organizing your Auntie's pantry, but you cannot organize your suitcase." And she looked me dead in the eye, and she said to me, "Because my sacred gifts are for others, Mom, not for myself." And I went, oh, okay then. She goes, "See, I listened to you." And I went, "Touche. Okay, your gifts are for others. I get it. I got it. I'll help you organize your bag." So they're there, and they are there early, and when we can find them and discover them and nurture them, and no matter what age we are now, it's like getting the information now, and just moving forward, it will just make things flow that much easier. But I do appreciate you letting me be here and to talk about this, because I absolutely love it. If anyone has any questions, you can I don't know, can we unmute people if you have any questions right away, or type it into the Jackie, you're welcome.
Of course we can unmute people.
Unmute people. Have any questions? I'll take a couple.
So before you answer any questions, yes. I put the link in the chat room so that they can go to the website and get the free gift. It's the free gift. They just need to put their first name, last name, and email, and they get the free gift, of course. Okay. Yeah. And that one that allows you to stay tied in with Marjean. And of course, Marjean, you are in our Facebook group.
Yes, I am. I'm in the Facebook
group. People will be able to reach out to you and stuff as well. So I know that. Yeah. One of the things I like to do is ask the speakers, because you shared so much nuggets of information. We have our Success Vault.
Yes.
All right, where we are having speakers put stuff into the vault, and one of these lovely people is going to win this.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, is there something you would like to donate into our Success Vault that somebody will win at the end of the year, but it's going to be something that will help them in their business or in their personal life, just to take it to the next level?
Yeah. I'm going to give you guys, and this is going to be valued at, let's see, between me, T, RJ, it's going to be valued at like between, $500 and $750. We're going to give you 3 executive coaching sessions. And my business partners and I have this unique way of working where we'll start you off based on an assessment. We'll do an assessment with you to see where you want to focus. And then between the 3 of us, we each do a session with you that's between an hour and 90 minutes. And we go through your assessment, and then each of us has a different angle of how to get you to the thing that you actually want. Okay? So we're going to give you 3 executive coaching sessions, one with each of us. And once we do your assessment, we know where to place you first, second, and third. So one of us will lead you off, the next one will build upon it, and then the next one will build upon it. And depending on what that assessment comes out as is where you start. Sometimes you would start with me, or sometimes you would start with RJ, or sometimes you would start with T. Together, all of us together combined have a total of over 50 years of personal growth experience and coaching experience. T. Crane is one of the most amazing executive coaches that is around. He's one of the phenomenons and has like 20 out of the 24 gifts. So he's an extraordinary human being. Just to even get his time is pretty rare because he's usually booked up. And RJ Robbins he's wise beyond his age. And he's one of those people who you would think, oh God, you don't have any wisdom, but he's got this depth of wisdom that he sees things from such a different angle than anyone else that it's pretty phenomenal. And you go, oh, wow. How did you know that? And he's like, his gifts just kick in and he just knows, like he just knows. And then there's myself, and I'll come around with a completely different angle. And you can focus on whatever area of your life that you want. It could be relationships. It could be your health. It could be your wealth. It could be your business. It doesn't matter what it is, but those 3 sessions will get you reset, redesigned, and relaunched into whatever it is.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll definitely, I want to win that gift. Like, forget the rest of the group. I know you guys. I know all your talents, your gifts, and your skills, and I know how busy you guys are. I think I'm just going to win the contest and let everybody in the group just like be like, I'm going to leave them in the dust. Lead by example. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to blow this contest out. I haven't even announced the contest to them. They don't even know what they're doing. But they're going to all go out there and crush it. I know it. So thank you, Marjean. Yes. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
I know they were stoked. If you guys are stoked, like on a scale of 1 to 10, put a number in the chat room to show Marjean how stoked you are. Not fingers. Put it in the comments below, guys.
I love that. 1 million. That's like a billion.
Oh, was that like 10 times?
I love it. Jackie's is like a billion, billions. I love it.
There you go.
Awesome. Gives you a lot to think about. Yeah, Jenny. Absolutely.
So I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna change the view here because.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you all so much.
Yeah. Now, how many of you are gonna have a good night's sleep tonight? Not. You guys are gonna be thinking about
what my gifts are.
Was that just one half of a chapter there, Kimberly? This lady, green right here, notes, like she's got mad skills.
It's called administration and planning. That's what that's called. No? You don't have the gift of, there might be something else happening there. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I can chime in on that comment. Kent, I have to ask a question.
There you go, Lisa.
We were just talking about that in Charleston because I was visiting some people, and I was like, you know what? Of anybody in the group, it's always going to be Lisa that has to chime in and say something.
Because my mind turns a million things, and I apologize for not being able to listen to this earlier, but I just got a bid for like five contracts with I have a cleaning business. So, and it's post-construction cleanup, and that's why I was late, and I'm sorry, but I am like on point with that. I'm good with that. I'm like all threes. I bring order to chaos. I listen to people, all that stuff. But in a different line of business, I am zero. Yeah. And Keith and Kent know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's like when it comes to me running a business, I'm fine. But if I have to be on a team that I want to excel, I'm horrible. So I recognize it. I'm not afraid to admit it. But what can you suggest for those of us who have like two different venues in our life and we want to be good at both of them?
You're not going to like what I have to say.
No, no, I'm good at taking constructive criticism.
From what it sounds like to me is your vehicle, like, and this is part of the Feel on Purpose formula. It's the vehicle. The vehicle has to match you. And if the other vehicle doesn't match you, you will never feel the same as the other vehicle. It has to be the right vehicle for you.
But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the one that I do zeros with.
That's okay.
Can I make
That's okay. You may be the one that needs to point someone else to that thing. Okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be you in that thing doing that business, but finding someone else to do that business. Because it may be that business brought you to the other one, but
right. It's kind of like recruiting. It's having the self-confidence to recruit, as opposed to when I'm running my own business, in my city, I'm confident. I don't need to worry about anything. I can get a bid over the phone with no problem. Okay. But then another thing, and I love the other one because I'm meeting so many more people.
Okay.
So that's where, and Kent, I know you wanted to say something, and I'm hoping that it'll.
I mean, I don't know all the details, so I can't give you as much coaching as I might be able to, like in a full session. But
that's why I need to get you 2-day live.
Right. There you go. That'll work. So, Kent, what were you going to say?
Lisa, I'll talk with Lisa later.
No, you're going to talk with Lisa later.
And I know the background, so I'll just say one is treated like a true business. The other one's treated like a hobby.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
And I'm just like Marjean, I'm blunt, but that's because that's our warrior spirits. That's we're
and it might be also a gift that you have, a particular gift that you have. That's all.
And if I
because there is a particular gift,
because I know Lisa, I think it's just her insecurity comes from lack of knowledge in that other business, and I think you don't feel as secure because you don't have as much knowledge as you do in the business you run day to day with the people that you talk to.
Right, because I don't stop to focus on the hobby as opposed to my bread and butter. But I want the hobby. It's been lucrative in the past, and I guess it's a belief system of the product too, which I always do believe in it. It's just, there's a part of me that goes into that dog stick her tail between her legs thing, and then there's the other part of me that's like, I got this, no problem. Like, we all know Lisa's going to ask a question at the end of every Zoom, don't we, Ken?
We do, but we also, some people need to understand that asking questions after every call isn't always necessary. Sometimes it's just absorbing the information, looking at it, and stepping back and saying, what can I learn from that without asking a question?
That is a gift of mine, that I have to ask a question. Because a lot of people say, I'm glad you asked that, Lisa. I never would have, I didn't have the courage to do it because Kent might get mad at me for asking a question every single time. Whereas it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. But there's a particular gift that goes in alignment with as well.
Yeah, I need to listen to the replay. This was excellent.
I gotta know more.
Yeah.
It's called the gift of knowledge.
Awesome. Well, Marjean, I know you are a busy lady. I know you have your munchkin you got to take care of as well. And I just want to thank you for coming on here and just sharing the information. Hey, guys, in the comments is the link. Go in there, get your free gift from Marjean. All right? Or should I say Margaret?
Well, yeah. Well, there's not necessarily a free gift in there, but there's a ton of information on that website. And then you can go and you can check out if you want to get the audio. But this is what I will do is if you do go and purchase the audio, I will give you a 30-minute Sacred Gifts consultation after you go through it. So that if you have questions about it, I will personally take you through a 30-minute consultation afterwards so that you can get your questions wrapped up. Okay?
See, this is why I tell you guys, bring more people to the calls because the people I'm bringing are amazing and they have so much stuff to share with you guys.
Yeah.
So, wow, where do I end this? I don't even know where to end this. You blew everybody's mind.
Gratitude. I know how to end this.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
what we're going to do. Everybody's going to come off mute and they're going to say one thing that they're grateful for in their life right now. Yeah, we're going to end with gratitudes.
Hey, do you want me to point to them?
No, we can just go. I mean, my screen looks like this. It goes Kimberly, and then me, and then Michelle, and then Norina. We can just go straight across the top, just like that.
Go for it, Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Wow. I don't even know where to start. I am grateful for a lot of things. But right now, I'm grateful to be on this call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Michelle.
I'm grateful for family and health.
Amen. Amen. Narina.
I'm grateful that I'm starting to get a better healthy-wise and start losing weight.
Awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. Yay. Lisa.
I'm grateful for Kent being patient, and as well as everybody else on the page, being patient with my impetuous mouth, and of course my health.
We love you.
And my 90-year-old mom. I love you too, Michelle. And my new friends. They're wonderful.
Amen.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Joan, I think you're next.
Joan, you're next.
Nice.
We're gonna unmute. You gotta unmute you.
There you go, Joan.
Oh, okay, great. I am grateful for serenity and peace in my life, which I never had before. And I'm grateful that I'm starting to get healthy.
Awesome.
Sweet. All right, looks like Patty Ryan.
I'm gonna.
Hey, Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I'm just grateful to be here.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
Uh-oh, here comes the sidekick of Lisa.
Jackie.
Jackie.
Your turn, Jackie.
Really? You can't. I will not do. Wait, I texted her behind to get here. Thank you very much.
I was on the phone. I was on the phone with contractor. Sorry.
What are you thankful for, Jackie?
You know, I'm thankful for a lot of things in life, and right now it's just this power of knowledge is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer.
Well, I'm thankful for God's graces and mercies that overflow in my daily life. And I'm also thankful for all of you guys and for being here tonight. So
awesome.
And your pretty new haircut.
Oh, yes. Thanks.
Thank you.
I cut 10 inches off.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing. Paul, your turn. Unless he's frozen. You there, Paul?
I think he's there. I hear him.
I know. Gotta
There.
speak into the microphone.
Could be frozen like Keith.
No, Keith's not frozen. All right, we'll skip Paul. We can come back to him.
There you go. There you
you
go, Paul. There he is.
Here I am.
Just in the nick of time.
Back again.
What are you grateful for, Paul?
I'm definitely grateful for being able to get some sleep with them sleep products, you know. And I'm definitely grateful for all these products that you guys carry, that's for sure, because it's really helped out a lot with a lot of the people now that I deal with. I've moved another state away. So now I went from Tennessee and I'm in South Carolina now and headed for Myrtle Beach.
Awesome.
Woo-hoo.
So
awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Awesome.
yeah, so this is going to be a lot of fun introducing it to a whole new group of people up here.
Sweet. All right. Hey, Keith. Your turn.
Hey, I'm grateful that this headache is kind of subsiding. That's one thing I'm grateful for.
Right on.
I'm grateful for my brand new grandson that was just arrived a couple of days ago. I'm grateful for my wonderful family. I'm grateful to my wife of as of tomorrow 36 years. I'm grateful for all the grace and love of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'm grateful for a lot of stuff. I'm grateful for health, wealth, happiness, breath in my lungs. I'm grateful for being on the north side of the dirt. I'm just grateful for life.
Awesome. I love it. Happy anniversary. Yes.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys must have got married when you were like 10. All right, let's see who else is left. Kelly.
Kelly.
Let me see if I can unmute. There she is.
I am grateful for my parents.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
That is awesome.
Thank
you for sharing. All right, Randy, you are the last one. We'll save the best for last. Are you there, Randy? Mr. Sweet, are you there?
Oh, Randy Sweet.
I know. Usually we get him on video and he's there. He must just be busy. All right.
Anyways.
Well, I'm just grateful. One, for my friendship with you, Marjean. You're just awesome and amazing. I know we have done courses together. I've been trained by you. And we just grown over the years and shared a lot of experiences. So thank you for that. And then I'm just thankful for everybody that is on this call, that they could be here today to learn these sacred gifts, to learn from you, you know, and just share this with other people. You know, just think about this, guys. Marjean, you guys didn't know who she was. You didn't know her skills or her talents, but because of our friendship, I brought her here to share her information with you guys. Yes, Joe.
Thank you.
So think about this. We need more people on here to hear what she has to say. Now, I know, God willing, that Marjean will be back, and we'll have her back down the road when we have more people, because more people need to hear this information. So I'm just blessed and grateful for all of you guys, for all the people that you're going to bring to the group to be leaders in their communities, not only in the communities, but in their businesses and in their personal lives, you know, in their home life, you know, being a leader at home for their family, their kids, their grandkids. All right. That's what it's all about. And it's all by done one person at a time, creating that ripple effect. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you all so much for tonight. I so appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. And so I'm going to sign out with everybody as I always do. Keep smiling, because you never know whose world you're going to change. Go out there and create that ripple effect, guys.
That's right.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Marjean.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.